Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back in the house. It's me, Irving Fryar. That's Big Dog Hollis Thomas. I should say Hollis Tank Thomas. This is A2D Radio. We are vetted, Hollis and I, right here live. Again, it's Thursday night, 8:15. That's when we're on. That's when you need to check us out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button so you know we're coming on. Good to see everybody tonight. Big Dog, talk to the peoples.
Vetted is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and book one of our awesome events. People just came back from the Kentucky Derby. They said it was a successful trip, and it was awesome. So also we have some baseball trips in hand. We're going to talk about a little bit about baseball because our team is currently kicking ass. But go to phillysportstrips.com and pick a tailgate. We do home tailgates and away tailgates. If you're trying to get rid of the hustle and bustle of travel, the best way to do it is go to phillysportstrips.com, hit trips, go down the list and see that we already have the Brazil trip up. And next week on the 15th of May, next Wednesday, less than a week from today, the full schedule will come out so you can get in there and take your off days and then align it with the Philly Sports Trips on which away games that you're going to and let us take care of the rest. That's go to phillysportstrips.com. Tell them that the ambassador, Hollis, the Tank Thomas, told you to do it, and you heard it here on A2D Radio from Irving the Tank.
Yes, Urban the Tank. I like that. Urban the Tank. Urban the Tank. So what's going on, everybody? Listen,
let me set you up. I'm gonna set you up real.
You gonna set me up for what? You gonna set me up for?
Well, I'm not. It's nothing bad. I was like,
I know you're not gonna set me up like that. I know you trying to put the ball on the tee.
Well, yeah. Let's say so. Let me tee you up real quick. So, before we came on, you were talking about we just got ousted from the playoffs with the 76ers yet again in the first.
We got kicked out.
we kind of got kicked out. It was a little unfair because the thing that was going on is still going on. I'll touch on that later on because I have a total gripe with that. But some of the things that have been said. But you wanted to give a special message to our quote unquote star player, the guy who makes everything go. What was your special message?
Well, wait a minute. Is he actually the one who makes everything go? I'm glad you said that.
That's what everybody else is saying. That's why I said let me tee you up.
Yeah, that's I want to talk to all of the people. Let me say this. I want to talk to all of the people who believe Joel Embiid is the answer to the Sixers in terms of the Sixers going to the playoffs and winning a championship. And there's a lot of talk now about a lot of guys being excommunicated off the team, but Joel Embiid is not one of them. Next year, Joel Embiid, Maxey will be on the team and a couple other guys, but everybody else is subject to be gone. Listen, people. You keep having hope. You keep saying, well, Joel Embiid has to be tougher. Joel Embiid has to change his mindset. He's got to be a guy who's got grit. He's got to be that leader. He's got to be that guy who can carry us to the championship and on deep into the playoffs to the championship. Joel, listen, you can't. What it takes to win a championship, whether it's in baseball, whether it's in football, whether it's in basketball, it takes a dog. You got to have dog in you. You got to have grit in you. You got to be a tough guy. And it comes from within. It comes from your heart. It comes from your mind, your mentality. Joel Embiid is a great talent. No doubt. I agree with that 100%. But Joel Embiid doesn't have that dog. And you can't infuse it. You can't take it and stick a needle in his arm and put it in him some kind of way. It's either in you or it's not in you. You either have it or you don't have it. Joel Embiid does not have it. And as long as he's on the 76ers team and the 76ers organization is trying to build a championship team around Joel Embiid, they're always going to fall way short, like they did this year, like they did last year, like they did the year before. I know, listen, big Thomas, Hollis Thomas, Tank Thomas knows you've got to have a fortitude inside of you that you can't just take and infuse in somebody. You either have it or you don't have it. I play games. Hollis has seen this where I've gotten a needle stuck in my toe.
Oh, God.
14 weeks in a row.
Oh, God. I was
That
back
dog, I
I
got
was
to see.
I was only back there with him for 2 weeks.
He's an undrafted free agent who played 15 years in the league. He's got that dog in him. That's the kind of dog that you need to win championships. That's the kind of dog that you need to overcome whatever. And Joel Embiid doesn't have that. You got to come to grips with that. Sixers fan, Joel Embiid. I'm sorry, y'all. Joel Embiid. And you got to come to grips with that. He just doesn't have it. And as long as the 76ers are trying to build a championship team around him, it's not going to happen because he's not going to change. He's not going to get to that point to where he has that dog mentality and he can push his way through injuries. He can push his way through when it gets tough. He's sitting on the side. Did you see him when he fell in the playoffs 3 or 4 games before they lost? He's laying on the floor, eyes rolling back in his head. What the? Oh my gosh, I almost cut. What was that? Guys, have you ever seen Michael Jordan do anything like that? Have you ever seen Magic Johnson do anything like that?
No.
Have you ever seen any of these Kobe Bryant doing anything like that?
Willis Reed.
Willis Reed. Have you ever seen Willis Reed do anything like that?
Now the people may not know my rookie year, the very first time I got a needle. They took me into the room where actually this was the second time because the first time I got a needle was the rib thing, and it didn't fare well because the ribs are a fickle creature.
Yeah.
But
the ribs are attached to everything.
Yes, stool soft the whole shebang. But so the first time when I was getting a needle in my ankle, I was kind of bitching and moaning because they had the long needle and stuff.
You gotta get in there.
As I walked back there, they're putting the needle in this man's toe. And I was like, and not because it was just the toe. It was literally, look, it was the top.
Yeah, they're going to the top.
I was like, oh God. And the needle wasn't a small needle. It was like about this long. I was like,
get down in there, yeah.
So I know what you're speaking of, and the word the phrase you were looking for was I don't think he has the testicle fortitude to put the team on his back and make it all the way to the promised land.
He's not a tough guy, man. There's too many instances where you see him just quiver and yield to the weight of the situation. Yeah, and
I think this is pretty much punishment for giving Tobias Harris a max contract and letting Jimmy Butler go.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty much punishment because now they're talking about bringing Jimmy. I don't want a 4-year older Jimmy.
No, you don't want a Jimmy Butler now. No. They need to blow that. The only one they really need to keep
is Maxey.
Is Tyrese Maxey. Exactly. He's the one who is ascending. Yeah. He actually broke out of his shell this year, and
Nicholas Batum. I say keep Nicholas Batum in the role that he's in.
Well, in the role that he's in, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to keep some of the role players. You have to. The thing that, and the funniest thing too, is when you look at the teams that are kicking ass now, they've been together for some years.
Right.
You can't build nothing.
No.
You can't build nothing for just. You saw that with the Suns. They threw the three together, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's not time." They got ousted. They got swept in the first round. They got that kid up in Minnesota, that team that's been together, him, Cat, they brought Rudy Gobert in there, and everybody balked when they went and got Rudy Gobert. But they was preparing for the Nuggets who they play tomorrow.
That's why they call it what you said, a team.
Yes, a team. Because
it takes a team.
Yes.
One person can't get it done. And though the Sixers have a team, yes, there is a leader. There's always a leader on the team. The team is always built around, just like the Eagles. That team is built around the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He's the leader of the team. There is a leader. You got to have a leader, but you also got to have a team, someone for the leader to lead. Mm-hmm. Joel Embiid is not a leader. Now, can he be a follower? Maybe so. But I
think that with a guy, if we'd have fared a lot better had we kept Jimmy B. Because he was following Jimmy B, and it was like Jimmy B took it upon himself. You need a guy like that around you. Like I would try to find somebody to pair with him that could lead him, because I don't think he's shown that he can lead a little bit.
He
but
can't
only
lead.
in spurts.
In my book, he couldn't lead me nowhere because he's not tough enough, man. He's not willing to sacrifice. That's a leader. One that you see in the midst of tough times making sacrifices on behalf, making sacrifices of himself on behalf of the team.
Yeah.
That's a true leader.
The funniest thing too is when you were saying this, and I don't want to get off of the subject of talking about football. You look at what happened. Look at the people that they let go to build what we're currently looking at. I'm looking at one of them right now on TV, and Drew Holiday. He'd be a hell of a point guard to have right now.
Oh man, what? Yeah.
To pair him with Therese Maxey.
Therese, what?
Yes. They let go of Sarge, who was in the finals last year.
It's like Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
They were trying to yield and satisfy Joel Embiid. I think Holiday leaving had something to do with Embiid not being happy. Was that correct?
Well, no, Holiday leaving before Embiid got here. They blew up the whole thing before Embiid got here.
What did Holiday leave that long ago?
Yeah,
I thought he was on the team same time as Embiid.
No, he wasn't. No,
you sure?
He's never on the team same time.
Okay, all right.
Because they would have got the kid.
I'm delirious today.
Who won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, y'all have to forgive me today if I happen to fall out of my chair. I had a colonoscopy today, and I went under, and for some reason, the anesthesia. I was trying not to do the show tonight. We couldn't do it tomorrow. I was asking, can we do it tomorrow? I was asking, can we do it on Saturday? Saturday, Big Dog and I both are traveling, and so we had to do it tonight because that's we get paid to do a show, so I'm doing the show. I can't not do the show. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about with Embiid. Suck it up and do the show. But y'all listen, if y'all see me fall out my chair,
just continue talking to me.
Yeah, just give Hollis the screen and keep on talking till I come back.
Till you come back.
Because it's not good. Listen, it's not good right now. I'm spinning. I can't even see the screen right now, Big Dog. I don't know what I'm looking at, man.
You're looking at the mass of people, and we're here to urge you on. Now,
I'm talking funny and all.
No, you sound pretty good. Now, last week we got a chance to talk about pretty much all the draft picks and how happy we were about the whole situation.
Yeah,
especially with the draft picks.
Yeah,
and I was actually happy with the undrafted free agents, in which we garnered as well. And if you leave me a little latitude, I don't mind if I go into talking about a few of them. I'm gonna save the best for in the middle there because I'm gonna get long-winded talking about that kid. So
okay, well you go ahead. That's why I wanted to talk about them because that's you. That's I mean, and I know you have a soft spot or a special spot in your heart for the undrafted free agents because that's your career. You're one of the not the more fortunate because you earned it, you worked for it, but you're one of the ones obviously who came in as an undrafted free agent, worked your way in, worked in as a starter and sustained that for quite some time. So hats off to you. And you recognize talent, obviously, in that realm, and you know what they've been going through and what they're going to have to go through as an undrafted free agent, as opposed to a first or second or third round draft choice.
Yeah, the one of the main things is you have to come in already polished, and when you get on, it's I need a bunch of reps because the reps you get, you're gonna have to make their eyes pop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I like I'm gonna start off with the kid. He's an OT, but I think we're gonna play him at guard out of University of Maryland. Is Odeze?
Gothic. It's Goth.
Got it.
Goth.
It looks like Gottlieb. Look like gotta be
Gottlieb. Gottlieb.
Because it's kind of like Godfrey without the.
No, it's not Godfrey. It's Gottlieb. Okay. I don't know where to get these names from.
Ayedenzi.
I don't know. I can't say.
His name is going to be AG from now on.
Gottlieb. Ayudez.
Yeah. You know what? I watched him pretty much because, what's his name? The kid, the quarterback for the Dolphins currently, the ones who always, his brother actually played for the University of Maryland, and the University of Maryland kind of came out smoking. And he was playing offensive tackle, but he's got that guard build, and
he's got short arms.
Yeah, that's what an interior. He's a big interior guy.
Right.
But in looking at how they added a little bit of depth, I think he's going to be the one to kind of push Tyler Steen, because I thought Tyler Steen was going to come in and then do some things. He was a 3rd-round draft pick. So I thought Tyler Steen was up. I think this kid will give him a nice run for his money. But then we also, when he got a nice safety from LSU.
Right.
It was a pretty good kid. Transferred a couple of times. Now let me just quit bull crapping. I want to talk about Gabe Hall.
Is that you? You want to stay with? Well, that's listen. I changed our agree to disagree got changed.
Yes,
because I was actually saying Gabe Hall. Right. Throw it up there, Ralph. They agreed to disagree. Undrafted free agent Gabe Hall will make this Eagles team. Yeah. I was saying actually we changed it up, but at first it was saying Gabe Hall,
right,
as the undrafted free agent has the best chance of making the Eagles team out of any other free agent.
Right.
Undrafted free agent.
Yes. I agree that I think he's going to make the team because I watched the kid when he was dominant at Baylor.
Yeah, man.
And he was dominant at Baylor. Then he went to the Senior Bowl and dominated some more.
Did a good job.
And he did a good job. And I'm like, I feel for the kid because the way the draft just shifted on him.
Right.
And they were drafting, they were edge rushers. The first DT didn't go off the board until between 15th and 19th pick. Was, the kid out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like, and then for him to fall like this, I know he's going to be pissed.
Well, wasn't he projected to get drafted like the 4th or 5th round, or even as late as the 6th?
Yeah, I was projected between 3 and 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
And so he should come in with a chip on his shoulder. I just love the way that's the part too. I love the way he could play. Now, this is a gem in disguise, and getting the kid out of Georgia, which I don't think the kid out of Georgia is going to have a bit of a fair shake. I think he may make the practice squad because
Kenneth Milton, the running back.
Yeah, Kendall Milton. Yeah.
Kendall
Milton. Mainly because they drafted Shipley.
Yeah,
and they let Boston Scott when he signed with the Rams or the Chargers.
Who's that?
Boston Scott.
Boston Scott. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
But this guy Kendall Milton, I think it's a great pick. One.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's 6'2", 220, 225.
Yeah. Special teams demon.
Special teams demon.
Yes.
He 1 out of every 8.6 carries ended up in a TD for him for Georgia. Yeah. So he had a 7.7 yards per carry, and he had 9 touchdowns last year for Georgia. So he's a big guy. You know, if we get to the 1 yard line, obviously we're doing the tush push, the Philly ship.
Well, we may not have to do the tush push anymore.
Exactly,
because we have a running back that'll get down.
But then think about it. So we have Saquon Barkley, right? We got Kenny Gainwell.
Yep.
They drafted Shipley.
Yep.
Who's the 4th guy? We keep 4 running backs. He's going to be 4. He could very well possibly high percentagely be the 4th running back, Milton.
Yeah.
So,
but he's got to get on every special team.
He's going to be on every special teams, of course. He's going to be on every. If he's on the team, he's going to be on every special team. You're right.
Yeah, and that the one thing that I think we did, especially in the I think the Eagles are going to keep as KC thinks. What's up, Brian? KC thinks that we're going to keep 4 to 5 running backs.
We're going to keep 4.
I think we have 4.
Yeah,
I think we have 4, and then I think we have a practice squad guy. And whenever I get the invite over there to meet all the rookies, I'll be able to size them up better. But I was surprised that Gabe Hall lasted as long as he did, because I was talking to my boy Gil. He always goes to the Senior Bowl, and he liked him down there too as well. So it's one of the things where I think it'll be a good thing for us, because I think he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder. You look at the defensive line rotation; is ripe for the picking.
Well, it's great for the defensive line rotation when you talk about that part of the game for the defense, and that's what we love to do: rotate these guys in and out. But it was a weird draft. I mean, we thought, at least I was saying, that I thought we were going to have to trade up to get the corner if that's what we were looking to get. And that's obviously what we were looking to get, was a corner. We got 2 corners in the first 2 picks. But I thought we were going to trade up, but we didn't have to trade up. We stayed at 22 and got the first corner picked in the draft. So it was a really kind of a weird draft. So that's kind of, I believe, why guys fell where they fell, whether it was Gabe Hall or whether it was Kendall Mitchell. That's why they ended up not getting drafted.
And then,
And,
you know what I think. What I think that my boy is going to do is he's going to, and that this also works in Gabe's favor too. It's like it's a 3-man front, so he plays nose and he also plays in both right and left end.
right,
So that's going to work
right.
for him. But it's like, but
Yeah.
you got the other guys like you have Marlon Tupuola, Tupolotu, who's a veteran. But then we when it picked up another undrafted free agent, not this year, but he was on somebody's roster. The kid out of Penn State, PJ, was it Mustafire?
Mustafire, yeah, he's on with the Eagles right now.
Yeah,
so
he's
we got
with the
Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, JP Mustafire, and you got Gabe Hall. And Gabe Hall's he's lean. He's 6'6", 291.
Something like that.
So he kind of struggles a little bit. He struggles a little bit against the run because he's tall and lean.
Yeah.
But as a pass rusher, the kid can get. He's got a couple of moves that he's really been successful with.
Yeah, he's got that wiggle that some coaches like being out third down. But I think he'll flourish in the 3-man front just because of the way that they'll be able to line him up and stuff.
Right. And then it's just another project for that for
Clint.
Yeah.
The defensive line coach, Clint.
Stoutland, yeah.
Well, Stoutland is O-line.
O-line, yeah.
Clint Hunt is a D-line coach.
Yeah, but it's another project. I think that he can end up putting in some time. And again, like you said, adding some depth to that defensive line. They're going to need it. I'm excited. I want to talk about this at the end of the show, but I want to talk about where we are right now. When you look at the names offensively that we have, we look at the names that we have now defensively. What does that make you think? How do you think this team is going to fare this year? But we'll talk about that at the end of the show. So who else you like in terms of the undrafted free agents? We talked about Hall. We talked about Milton. Who else do you like?
I like Castles McCallum.
Castles, yeah.
Out of the University of Tennessee.
Tight end.
Yeah, tight end.
He's a big basketball skills, big basketball player. Yeah,
he's like 6'5", 230, but he was able to block at Tennessee, block better than what we've seen our guys do. And the tight end room is kind of crowded though when you look at it.
Well, you know what? It's crowded, but really when you look at Dallas, there's obviously Dallas Goedert's going to be the starter, and we saw Calcaterra play a little bit last year. But after that, what do we have?
We have he was on our.
You got Uzoma from the Jets. Yeah. They brought in Uzoma from the Jets, and you got Akwu Buna.
Yeah, but he's been there.
I say his last name.
Akubuna.
Yeah, Akubuna.
He's been here before.
Right.
You got
so
Noah.
Who else you have?
Yeah, Noah and EJ Jenkins.
No, man. No.
Those are Jags, just another guy.
Yeah, no. So this cat here, Castles, has a chance.
Yeah.
To not only make the squad, but again, special teams, but actually get some time in this year.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I loved about like my rookie year was when I was rookie, they made me go to a special teams meeting. I was like,
every rookie's got to play special teams, man.
But I'm 6'1", 310 pounds. What the hell I'm gonna do? Old Danny Smith found something for me to do.
You gonna find something.
I was on the kickoff return team.
There you go. There you go,
dude. And then as the one thing that I can say is that first year, you kind of grow up, especially towards the end of the season, because you hit the rookie wall. But it was like, but then I starting, and so we gave up. I don't know if you remember the game against the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. And we gave up like an 8-play drive, and they kicked a field goal.
Yeah, I broke my nose in that game. I got my nose broken that game.
But I played all 8 of those plays, and then we had kickoff return. So I come to the huddle. He said, "No, I'm on number 1 kickoff return." So I kind of limped to the huddle. As soon as I get to the
what was you limping for, big dog? You trying to get out the game? You trying to get? No, you trying to get out the game.
No, I was tired. I was dog tired, boss. And then so he was like,
"You tell you tired, boss."
So then Daddy's like, okay, because you remember that year, I think we led the league in kickoff return yards, 1,271. But you remember it was Derek Witherspoon,
right?
So
right, yeah, he was good.
So I was the right end on this, So they called left return, which meant I had to go from this side of the field
all the way on the other side.
I was like, no. And he said, okay. He said middle return. I was like, and I don't know if you remember, but Derek Witherspoon literally returned that ball all by himself because
he was pretty good.
The kicker outkicked his coverage, and I was going to get a block, and all I heard was move. So I leaned to the side, and all I saw him was
going by you, right?
That was a game we went into overtime. That was my first start ever too.
I'm sorry. You got me laughing, man. Oh Lord, I need some more tequila, man.
Yes, you do. Now, when we was talking about earlier, we was talking about the playoffs. I've been watching. We had the unfortunate draw of playing against the Knicks.
What are you talking about? The 76ers?
Basketball. The 76ers.
Oh, okay, you shifting back. You're going back to the Sixers now.
I'm going to the officials because I watched the game last night, and if they were just saying that it seemed like they just said the Knicks gonna win no matter what. Put it this way: me and my brother was watching the game.
Well, you know what?
And we both turned it off in the third quarter because this is how bad you know it was. The commentators were talking about, oh man, the Knicks are playing so physical. Then you hear the whistle blow because somebody breathed on a Knicks player. And it was bad. It was so noticeable that it was that bad. And the thing that I wanted to reiterate was when we listen to some of these jackasses talk about the game and talk about you're not supposed to worry about the officials. In certain situations, yes. But let's say this: in most situations, yes. But when it's this egregious,
right?
But they won't let nobody. It was like they couldn't do nothing,
right?
And then it got so bad that Rick Carlisle, who said that he wasn't going to do it the first game, he had to do it. It was like 40, it was 20-some missed calls in the first, missed calls or bad calls in the first 29, and then 49 in the second game.
Wow!
Come on, dude.
Yeah, the referees were not, fair, so to speak.
They weren't
based on our opinion, but at the same time,
based on film. The eye in the sky don't lie. When you see,
yes, you're right. The eye in the sky don't lie.
When you see number 55 as number 55 for the Knicks, as the Indianapolis players comes in for a layup, where he's damn near under the hoop and he pushes them with one hand and to block the other one.
Yeah, that's a foul. Yeah, that's two fouls.
and then when you see on the other end where there's clearly air between Jalen Brunson.
And they call a foul. There's no foul.
Because Jalen Brunson does like this.
Yeah. Of course. Well, they got to act. They got to act.
It was god awful, dude.
But I'm just fed. As far as basketball is concerned, I'm not even watching the rest of the playoffs right now because I'm just fed up with the Sixers, and I'm fed up with them believing in Joel Embiid in being their leader to get them to a championship. Because I don't know why they can't see it. I don't. And I don't know why they refuse to believe that he's not the guy. He is just not the guy. Now, if we had someone else on the team that was the leader, the outright, visible, evident leader, someone that we could obviously see that was the leader on the team, and Joel was maybe the Robin and the Batman and Robin duo, then okay, I could probably deal with that because the Batman would pull Robin up to the level that he needed to be emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and even physically. He'd pull him up and lead him on to the championship. That's what Joel Embiid needs. He needs somebody as the example for him to follow, to rise up to. But he can't be that guy. He is not that guy. He doesn't have the capacity. He doesn't have it in him. And like I said, you can't take it and put it in him because either you have it, this big dog, or you don't. Yeah. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah, it's not going to magically form. Now we got Dave Roscoe. I thought it was Roscoe. He wants to say that the Nuggets will win Game 3 in Minneapolis, Minnesota tomorrow night. I highly doubt it. I like it. I like your. I don't know if you watched those first two games. They was ugly. And one was without Rudy Gobert, the defense player.
I didn't watch them. No, I didn't watch them. I've been watching track and field, man. Track and field has the the qualifying rounds for the Olympics.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I've been watching. My wife and I sit and we watch that. So
yeah, because your wife is a former track star, right?
Yes, sir. So I sit and I watch that. But I never watched it before till I married her. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. She's into it pretty deep. So she explains stuff to me and lets me know who's who and what's what it came from, what they're capable of doing, and so it's pretty good. But go ahead, man. You were talking about basketball.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about the way things are going with the Knicks and stuff, and the officiating stinks. Well, the Dallas, somebody. Okay, Dynasty wants to know what's the Dallas series at. It's 1-0. Whoever they were playing, the Oklahoma City beat the crap out of them. I think they play next tonight after Cleveland, Boston. Right now, Boston is ahead 81-70. So, and that's it. It should be some better series. But that Minnesota one, if Joker Murray will be ready. No, they still like Murray is hurt. If you watch that game, and it would be different if they just outpointed them. They held them to 80 points.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then nobody knows because they don't play Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't get that national airtime. Minnesota was the number one defensive team during the regular season, and have been the number one defensive team
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yes.
Right.
So. Defense does win championships.
Yes, and you know what? During the times, let's go back to the Sixers.
Okay.
When you're watching the Sixers and the Knicks, the times they were winning, the times that looked like they were playing better in that series, because they had moments in the series where the Sixers were doing okay. Mm-hmm. During those times are the times when they were playing good defense.
Right.
They were running up and down the court and they were defending the basketball. They were creating steals. They were pulling down defensive rebounds. They were doing those types of things. And during those times of the game are the times when they were winning the games, but they never sustained that. They never kept that up. We know the Knicks are fighters. They fight tooth and nail all the way to the end. And the Sixers just weren't, they didn't have enough in the tank. I don't know why. It just fell apart. So the undrafted free agents, let me say this list real quick. Okay. Gabe Hall, defensive tackle out of Baylor. We talked about him. And I'm not going to get all these names right, y'all, so forgive me. We got Gottlieb Ayudez he's offensive guard out of Maryland. Yep. Kendall Milton, running back out of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Anim Dankwa, offensive tackle out of Howard. Out of Howard, yeah.
He was interesting. He's a big time project.
Well, yeah, he's a practice guy.
Yeah,
but he's a big guy. He's 6'8", 353.
Yeah, but he's got to be able to move, and if he's got some, because when MB watching him, I look for the hip bend, because you can be as big as you want to, but the low man wins. You stand your big happy ass up, you're gonna get ran through like a track meet.
But still, you need long arms as an offensive tackle too.
Yeah, you do. He's got long arms, but it's like, but if you have the longest arms you want to, but if you can't put your dick beaters on the defensive end,
you gotta give it. Well, if he's doing that, at least he can get down that low.
I'm just saying, but it's like you got to be able to get your hands on the defensive end, and I don't think he is because I think he fell as far as he did into free agency because he wasn't as fleet of foot as
right. Well, he's a project. Tackle. He's a guy, 3, maybe even 4, not 4, but 2 or 3 years down the road, and Jeff Stoutland. If he can't coach him up, nobody can coach him up. Nobody can coach him up. So he's got 35 and 1/8 arm length. His arms are 35 and 1/8 inches long. Mm-hmm. He's got an 85.5 inch wingspan. That's crazy. Yeah. That's absolutely crazy. And not a bad 40. A tackle doesn't have to run a bad 40. You just got to be able to get swift feet, quick feet. 5'4". That's not bad for the size being 6'8". Yeah, no, he's 6'8". Yeah. He's the size of Mailata.
That's why I say they would probably kick him down the guard. Yeah. It's like you put him in that phone booth. I think the long arms and you don't have to be that fleet of foot, but you got to be able to. The hip bend is where I'm like. It's kind of like remember we was talking about
you got to be able to stay low down in that guard position, man. You got to get down.
But remember we was talking about Cooper DeJean, and I was telling you about I didn't like for him playing corner. I didn't like him. I didn't like his. He was too stiff in the hips.
Yeah, and he's not going to play corner. He's going to play safety. Watch. Yeah. They're not going to put him in corner. I don't think.
I think there's going to be a hybrid type thing. So where you can play corner and safety. So
But can you see C.J. Gardner Johnson and DeJean back there together?
Yeah.
Man, that's going to be crazy because C.J. Gardner Johnson is the same kind of safety.
Yeah.
He can play all over the place as well.
Yeah, and then you still got Sid Nay and Reed Blankenship. So
yeah. So I mean, it looks good. It looks good to me, man.
It's starting to look good.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Don't go there yet. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Okay. So McKellen Castles, the tight end from Tennessee. Yeah. Andre Sams, that's the safety you mentioned from LSU. Yeah. Talik Keaton, that's a wide receiver from Marshall. Don't know much about him. And Kenyon Williams, a safety out of Tulsa. Also are the undrafted free agents that have been in here with the Eagles. So let me ask you about this. Lakim Vakalahai. Lakim Vakalahai. Okay, do you know about him?
No, tell me about him.
He's a huge Australian offensive lineman that they acquired through the International Pathway Program. Jordan Mailata-ish, he's 6'5", 318, 35-inch arm length, 11-inch hands, 83-inch wingspan, 6'5", 318, 21-year-old out of Brisbane, Australia.
Nice.
And he's a project like Mailata, never played NFL football ever before, ever. Right. And they signed him. Wow. So they're looking for him to do kind of the same thing, come around like Mailata did. It's a project, when they found him, when they first started looking at him, he was on a missions trip for his church in Wellington, New Zealand. Okay. That was 2 years ago. So they've been looking at this cat for 2 years. You heard about him?
Did he play like the semi-pro league over there?
No, he's never played football, period.
Has he played rugby or anything?
He never played, I think he played rugby, but he never played football.
So he's played some form of football.
Yeah, so they looked at him and ran him through some drills. He had never been in a 3-point stance before, never did a drop back before, never did any of that. So they were showing him and teaching him while they were drilling him, and he was, I guess, evidently he was doing pretty good. So they signed him.
Yeah, so he's got to be.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive.
That's extremely impressive, especially given the magnitude of the test that they put you through.
Yeah,
I've only it was like when I did work out a bunch. Because I didn't get to get invited to the combine or none of that other stuff. So every time somebody came to work me out, I had to work out. Everybody has their own way of doing things.
Yeah. They want to see different stuff. So he's going to be He's going to be on the international player roster. Right. And he'll be exempt. So he's not going to be. It's not going to count towards a 53-man roster. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so you got to give him time to develop.
Yeah. So that's something that the NFL is doing now because they're trying to get more players from around the world, from international players coming from all over the place. Yeah, trying to expand the NFL.
Yeah, because they got the one. I know they got one. I want to say in Ghana or Nigeria. I know it's a bunch of them, like OC Ure and a bunch of cats, including our buddy Bobby Taylor. They be going all around doing the camps to get the international thing going.
Bobby Taylor's a part of that?
Yeah, he's part of that as well. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and Troy Vincent are good friends.
Well, I know they're good friends, man. I know they're good friends. I didn't know he's working with the league like that. That's cool.
He's just how I got all the information for the draft.
That's cool. Yeah. So when you look at this team now, before you go into our history with Hollis, we got about 5 minutes before you do that.
Okay.
When you look at this team now, and I just kind of realized this today as I started thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Howie Roseman has done a pretty good job of filling some of the holes, particularly on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. And he's actually improved the offense and, done it in a way where he's been able to sign multiple guys on the offensive line, Landon Dickerson, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, all of them got new contracts, man, where Howie's just doing his thing. And we got an offense that just has gone to another level as far as I'm concerned on paper with the addition of Saquon Barkley now. Mm-hmm. So if this team can get together, new offensive coordinator, and this defense can get together, we fill some of the holes that we have on defense. We got Mitchell and we've got Deshaun, however you say his name. We got all these new guys that we've gotten through free agency and in the draft. And it seems that we're pretty solid right now and on defense. And this defense can play or be better than our defense, the Eagles defense was last year. Even if they're not, again, like I said earlier in one of the shows, they don't have to be a top 10 defense. They can play, we hope they are, but if they're a middle of the road defense and this offense plays halfway as capable as they are with the stars that they have on this team, the Eagles can go pretty far into the playoffs. What is your mindset right now when you look at this team on paper? What Harry Roseman has done thus far, even in the undrafted free agency world, with some of these cats he's been able to acquire, man, he's shining like a star right now, more so this year than he did last year. I mean, last year we were excited at this point when we had Jalen Carter coming in, Nolan Smith coming in. We were excited, man, about what was happening last year. But now we've upgraded, I think, pretty much in all those positions, right. Maybe one or two positions we haven't upgraded, so to speak, but we've upgraded in a lot of areas offensively and defensively.
Now, the one thing that we weren't excited as we are now, because last year we did not address the linebacker. We addressed the secondary a little bit, and it was like those still were very questionable positions. Now this year's like, well, I think Casey just said the linebacker core is still questionable, but you have competition in the room, equality competition. You went and got Devin White in free agency.
Devin White, right?
You drafted a couple of guys. You drafted Huff is going to be an outside linebacker,
right?
And then you draft the kid that played safety, that played in the third round,
right?
That built himself up to be an outside linebacker. And what you see is what you see them doing is going to get guys that are versatile, that are not one-trick ponies, to play in the secondary. Then you did the ultimate, and I know everybody was happy about CJ. Even CJ was happy about coming. CJ Gardner was happy about coming back. But then on top of that, you get you go into the draft and you get the top corner due to the way the draft falls. You get the top corner on everybody's board. Then you get the second best corner.
Top two,
You got the top two guys, but the other guy is a Swiss Army knife because he can play multiple positions.
Right.
And then you top that off with you go and you find, like I said, the linebacker. Then you sign all the other guys, and so he's made sure that everybody's happy. And it's like he re-signed. Everybody was worried about the A.J. Brown thing. He said he went to make sure.
Well, yeah, and that's why A.J. Brown is so happy now, because it's not that A.J. Brown wasn't discord. He was still whatever he was doing before, but up until that point when he got $93 million, of course you're going to talk to the press. Of course you're going to be happy. Of course you're going to be more cooperative. Of course you're going to have a smile on your face. I just got $93 million freaking dollars. Yeah.
But then
I said it. When Devontae Smith signed his contract, because Devontae Smith's contract was equal to A.J. Brown's. A.J. Brown wasn't going to be happy with that. Howie Roseman knew that. Jeff Lurie knew that. A.J. Brown knew that. And everybody else knew that.
They made sure they took care of that.
Right. They made sure they did that.
They didn't wait till the powder keg busted. But when you just look at it on paper now, last year I think we had some delusions, and then you went and you got rid of the first-time coaches. You got rid of the coaches who you felt like were holding you back.
Right.
And you got
offensive defensive coordinator.
Yeah, you got it was a lot more than that. It was
but it started with them. That's where it started.
You hire new position people to hold guys accountable and to actually have a plan at hand, a task at hand, and not just depend on the names on the roster to win. I'm extremely happy and excited about to see what these guys put together, especially my guy Vic Fangio. I love that's my guy. I was talking to him when they had him around the team a little bit, and I thought that they were going to oust Jonathan Gannon, but they didn't. But I like the way Vic Fangio, he plans and takes away things. And to what you were saying about the our offense is a top 5 offense.
Our offense would be the top offense in the league. Come on, man, you got a good offensive line.
Yeah, but you pair that with having a defense that like they was bitching and moaning about him last year, but if we had the Miami Dolphins 10th rated defense, what 10th rated defense?
Right.
10th. We didn't
Right.
even, we weren't even sniffing that.
No.
We were getting out. We were looking at some Pop Warner-esque shit last year.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was just like,
but when you look at the players, so let's look at the offense for an example.
right.
If I'm Devontae Smith, and I've never had this in my career, if I'm Devontae Smith, I look around me, even though I'm the second guy, but I play like the first guy.
Right.
I'm like the number one receiver. I can do the same thing the number one receiver is doing.
Right.
I look around me, man. I look at the offensive line. I look at the quarterback that I have. I look at the other receiver. Wow. I look at the tight end. Wow. I look at the running back I got now. Man, it makes everybody around you, it makes their jobs easier.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm putting a game plan in against the Philadelphia Eagles in 2024 during the season,
right?
I got AJ Brown. Oh my gosh. I got Devontae Smith. Oh my goodness. I got to deal with, I can't leave Goddard alone, not one-on-one, because he'll kill you.
Yeah.
He's capable. I got to worry about, obviously, Jalen Hurts because he can throw the ball and run the ball. And then, wait a minute, they got Saquon Barkley. Barkley's a problem as well.
Yes. And you know what?
And then guess what? I can't just rush.
Right.
I can't just do plain stuff with them because they got a good offensive line. Those cats are good. That's a problem. That's a problem for defenses. And then you look at the offensive side of the ball for opponents. Yeah, we don't know what this team is going to be yet defensively. Yeah. But we do know
it'll be better than last year.
Yes, we do know it will be. We do know it will be better than last year, particularly in the secondary
and the linebacking core.
So, but then again, I'm planning on too. I'm looking forward to. I think Jalen Carter's going to have a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jordan Davis is going to do because he's had a couple of years to play and he's kind of mushed around a little bit.
I think that he's going to be a little bit better in this style of defense that.
Well, yeah, and if I'm Jordan Davis and I look next to me, I got Jalen Carter playing next to me. What? Come on, man. That's got to elevate my game.
Mm-hmm. Now, somebody just mentioned this, and I believe the same thing that as is it Kinsey 28 was talking about Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson that's the receiver, the 6 foot
right.
dude.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah,
I like him. He could be the steal of the draft.
I don't know if Trotter will be a starter.
I don't know yet.
Listen. If he ends up being a starter, obviously he's capable of being a starter. I don't know that he'll be a starter because I don't know. I mean, you know more than I do in terms of what kind of defense they're going to be running and how much responsibilities he's going to have and what exactly those responsibilities are going to be, and do they cater to his strengths rather than his weaknesses?
Yeah, I think he'll be in a nice rotation. I think Devin White with the more experience and stuff.
Right. Well, yeah.
But then you have to look at they're gonna have to rotate, and I think his first thing is gonna be once he makes the team is gonna be a special teams demon. So he'll always be available when they need him. That's the one thing I think a lot of guys lose in translation. You have to be on all the special teams. So just in case somebody twists an ankle, you're the next in line.
Right. And he's going to do the same thing his daddy did. That's what his daddy did. Yes. He's going to come in and be on special teams the first year and learn. Yeah. And then, we'll see what happens. And
then become the Axeman Jr.
Yeah. And you never know because anything can happen. Injuries take place all the time. We don't speak that on anybody. We don't wish that on anybody. Yeah. But, all of the players on the field, everybody on that 53-man roster who is not starting is a play away from starting.
Right.
Is a play away from starting.
Ankle twist away from starting.
Yep. So you have to be ready. So we never know. The question is, will he make the team? Yeah, he's going to make the team. He's definitely going to make the team. I mean, even if he shouldn't make the team, he's going to make the team because that would not be a good look for the Eagles. They're not going to cut Trotters, the Axeman's son. They're not going to do that. I don't think that's going to happen. No, they'll keep him on, and if at the worst, put him on the practice squad. At the worst, that's the worst. But I think he has the talent to be able to contribute, particularly special teams, because he's that hybrid type of guy. You know, he's not so big that he's just a linebacker, but he's not so small that he's just like a safety kind of guy.
And he's got some speed.
Yeah, he got speed. Yeah, and he's got dog in him, and he loves contact. So and he's got good feet, good hips, good feet, and you need all of that for special teams.
Yes,
it is time. Oh, I made it, man. I didn't cough too much. I only sneezed a few times. My eye didn't start twitching. Man, I'm clogged up though. But it's time, y'all. This is a good time in our show. It's time for history with Hollis.
History with Hollis is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com for all your fan needs. Basically, fans going to games, baseball, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, hockey, or even soccer, or even the Kentucky Derby. Go to phillysportstrips.com and tell them that you heard it here from Tank and Irv. Today is May the 9th. It's the 130th day of the year. There's only 236 of these suckers left.
Man, it's almost June, bro.
Yes, it's almost June.
Golly.
Man, so we have the national holidays real quick. Today is National Ascension Day.
Ascension Day? What does that mean?
It's like a holy thing.
Is that so now you're a priest.
I'm just saying.
Do it again. Look, I got my hospital band still on my arm. Look at that. Do it again.
Ascension Day.
Y'all, listen, y'all, you better watch this because you'll never see it again. Do it again, big dog.
Ascension Day.
Go ahead, big dog. I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too, man. Today is also a Butterscotch Brownie Day.
Butterscotch brownies.
It's the Hooray for Buttons Day. For people lose their buttons and stuff off of clothes. Today is also Moscato Day.
All right, Moscato.
And Lost Sock Memory. I don't know about you, but I used to lose a sock all the time in the dryer.
What did the dryer eat your sock, or you just didn't put it in with the other sock in the wash, and it didn't make it to the dryer?
And then you always lose that one sock, and you like, where the hell did it go?
It's the dryer sucked it up.
It's also tear the tag off the mattress day.
No, you got to cut it off. You can't tear it off. You put a hole in the mattress.
We used to have the thing where it was a federal law that you couldn't tear the tag off mattresses.
Why?
I don't know. It said it on the.
Why was it a federal law?
I don't know.
That's crazy. I bought the mattress. I tear the tag off. I put holes in it if I want. What do you mean? I never heard of that before. It was a federal law.
Next time you look at it, read the tag.
Wow. I've never heard. You learn something new every day. Wow.
Yes, exactly. Today's events. We're going to start in 1768 when John Hancock pays duties meaning taxes,
right,
on 25 pipes of wine. This is significant because it was only 1/4 of how much that his ship could contain, which brought the Brits brought the British officials to accuse him of unloading the other 3/4 before they could tax him.
Officially tax evasion.
Exactly, official tax evasion. And in 1865, President Johnson, he issued a proclamation declaring the armed resistance in the South is virtually at an end. Basically, it was the May the 9th is actually the official date that a lot of people recognize the end of the Civil War. But it's April 9th. Everybody else recognized it when they surrendered. 1868, the city of Reno, Nevada is founded.
Uh-huh.
In 1899, John Burr patents the rotary blade on the lawnmower.
Wow.
And here we go. Next page. 1914, President Wilson proclaimed it Mother's Day.
Oh, is that how Mother's Day came about?
Yeah.
A president declared Mother's Day?
Yes. And this is funny right here. 1926, the very first so-called flight over the North Pole claimed by Richard E. Byrd and his co-pilot Floyd Bennett. Later on, Byrd's diary was discovered, figuring that they stopped 150 miles short of flying over the North Pole. Do you know why? Because his diary said they had an oil leak, and so they turned back around.
Wow.
In 1946, the first hour-long entertainment TV show, NBC's Hourglass, premiered. In 1960, you have the United States becomes the very first country to legalize the birth control pill.
Oh Lord, that didn't
19,
work.
yeah, it works a little bit,
It
but
didn't work. Well, okay.
1961, the
I,
United
see, I think some people would beg to differ, but go ahead.
in 1961, the United States Federal Communication Commission chairman, at the time, Newton N. Minyao, he criticized TV as a vast wasteland.
Wow.
During the speech to the broadcasters union. 1963, U.S. performs nuclear tests in Nevada. In 1966, the very first black member of the Federal Reserve Board was A.F. Bremer.
Okay.
In 1971, American Beth Bonner, she runs a then female record for the marathon in 3 hours, 1 minute, and 42 seconds. And I think the marathon was in Philadelphia. That was interesting. Then we have, what is this? 1974, the Nixon impeachment trial started.
Oh, on this day in 74? Okay.
This day in 74.
We know how that turned out.
In 1980, the movie Friday the 13th was released.
What year?
1980.
Friday the 13th, yeah.
And now the rest of these are going to be why we probably should have been. Some of these are why we should have been an artist. Alexander Codler, his big crinkly, it was a sculpture. It went for $852,000.
Wow.
And then 1987, Eddie Murray, Orioles Eddie Murphy was the first to switch hit home runs in 2 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 1989, the then Vice President, Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle.
Yeah, he was in front of the United Negro College Fund and said this.
Did he say?
What a waste it is to lose one's mind instead of a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Right. What a waste it is to lose one's mind. Yeah. He thought he was being smart.
I know. In 1992, the final episode of The Golden Girls aired on ABC. In 2010, the Oakland A's Dallas Braden. He becomes only the 19th pitcher in MLB history to pitch a perfect game, 4-0 versus Tampa Bay.
Nice.
In 2012, Mark Rathados, Orange, Red, and Yellow becomes the most expensive contemporary art piece to be sold at an auction for $86.9 million. You need to be an art man.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's it. We're not done with art yet now. We're not done with art. The metal
more art. We got more art.
Metal, yes, because Andy Warhol's picture of then in 2022, Andy Warhol's picture of Marilyn Monroe went at an auction for $195 million.
What?
$195 million in New York City.
For a picture?
For a picture, man.
You know how many hungry people we have in this world? Somebody spent $190 million. $190 million?
$195 million. Now I have some birthdays real quick for you.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
We have John
No
Brown.
picture worth that kind of money, man.
John Brown, he fought for slavery 1800. 1918, Mike Wallace, the guy from 60 Minutes. 1940, James L. The dude who James L. Broles. Actually, James L. Brooks. He's made Mary Tyler Moore, Taxi, and the Tracy Ullman Show.
Okay.
1946, Candice Burgess. Candice Bergen, the lady who played Murphy Brown. 1949, one of my favorite singers, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, Billy Joel. Kevin Peter Hall, 1955, from Misfits of Science. Fred Markham was the first man to pedal a bike at 65 miles per hour.
Wow. That's pedaling, bro. Homeboy was going. Homeboy was rolling.
1960, Tony Gwynn. 1970, we have Doug Christie and the Ghostface Killer. In 1975, singer Tamia. 1979, Rosario Dawson. And 1984, Prince Fielder. Now, that's been History with Hollis. It's been brought to you by Philly Sports Strips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and tell them Tank and Irv told you to come and pick out a trip or a tailgate.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yes.
They delayed.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I almost made it through the whole show without sneezing.
Yeah.
So they delayed the schedule coming out. It was supposed to come out tonight, right?
Yes, it was.
But they delayed it. What's the date it's supposed to come out now? Do you know?
The 15th.
The 15th.
Next Wednesday.
Okay, it's next week, Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
That's ridiculous. They just like
they're just doing so because they build it. They're doing a whole show for it.
They just tease.
They're doing they're doing a whole show for it and stuff. And it's like a waste of time and energy.
Exactly. It's a pain in the neck, and they shouldn't do that with people's emotions.
Yeah, because everybody waiting to take their days off. Take their days off work and stuff.
Yeah, people trying to make plans. What are they doing? Stop.
Not only that, they playing with. We had to set these trips up.
Yeah, we got schedules, things we got to do.
We got to make sure that people have a good time and all this stuff.
Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. NFL, you don't do everything right, dog.
No, they don't.
But they got so much money, they can do whatever they want to do.
Special shout out to my boy, one of my college teammates, Jeff Flight. Today is his birthday as well.
Shout out to you, Flighty.
Mr. Flighto. He took me to McDonald's when I was supposed to be on the diet during my freshman year in college.
Flight on.
He was a bad influence, but that's my guy.
Bad influence, but I always love him.
Food wise, though, he's like, I said, where you about to go? He's like, going to McDonald's. You want to go? Damn right, I want to go.
And he paid for it too, didn't he?
No, it was just my rookie year. He barely knew me, but he had a car. And it was after practice before curfew and stuff.
Okay.
And I was new to the little city, DeKalb, Illinois. I didn't know it was a McDonald's, and he showed me the way.
Hey, show you the way to McDonald's. Hey, everybody, that's it for our show today.
Yes.
I made it. Big Dog carried it. Thank you, Big Dog. I appreciate you, man. We made it. This is A2D Radio. This show is called Vetted. You see it up there in the corner up there above Big Dog's head. I'm Irving Fryar. That's Big Dog, Tank Thomas, Hollis Tank Thomas. Yep. We'll see you next week, same time. That is Thursday night at 8:15 p.m. right here on A2D Radio.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, same purpose. Low will in the creek don't rise. Talking more birds.
Go birds.
Go birds.